day 5 of my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. This is my 6th year in a row doing this challenge, and today is day 5. If you missed days 1 through 4, make sure to check out the playlist. I will link it up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked at the end of the video as well. You can just do this workout with me today. You don't have to do the entire challenge, but if you do want to do the challenge with me, here's the way it works. You're going to start on any random Wednesday, okay? So as long as you start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist. So check out the playlist, save the playlist, and start by watching that video from day 1. The day 1 video is going to explain all about the challenge, what it is, how to participate, why we're doing it. I also took a lot of time demonstrating and explaining the correct form for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. And I provided a ton of beginner modifications that even the most beginnerest of beginners can do. Because this year I wanted to really tailor the challenge towards beginners, ultra super duper day 1 beginners. So you don't have to do the whole challenge. If you just want to do this workout with me today, that's great. I will be providing beginner modifications for the exercises that we are doing in this workout. But if you do want to do the challenge, go to the playlist, start with day 1, watch the day 1 video, and then when you're ready to begin the challenge, you're just going to start on a Wednesday. Any random Wednesday will work. Start with day 1 on a Wednesday, and then all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist. It is super easy. If you are not a beginner, then you may want something a little bit more intense, a little bit more challenging than this workout that we're about to do today. So if you would like to check out the workout that we did last year for day 5 of the challenge, that will also be linked in the iCard. It will be linked below the video in the description box as well. So if you're a little more advanced, check that workout out. It's similar, but it's a little bit more challenging, and I incorporated cardio into the workout, so it's longer. And then while you're there, save that playlist as well, so that if you want to continue along with the challenge and you're a little bit more advanced, you have more difficult workouts to do each day. But you'll have the option. You can kind of bounce it back and forth between the 2 playlists. So you may be more advanced, but if you only have 10 minutes to do a workout today, then these workouts that we're doing this year might be suitable for you. So both playlists are going to be linked in the description box down below the video. But if you are a beginner, I want you to stay right here, because I'm going to explain and demonstrate all of the exercises that we are doing today, and I'm going to provide your beginner modifications. Then we'll do a quick warm up and we'll get into the workout. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So today we are starting with lunges. I'm going to be doing side jump lunges. You may not be able to jump for whatever reason, so don't worry if you can't jump. I will be providing an impact-free modification, but first let me show you the exercise the way I'm doing it. So with your lunges, the first thing you want to do is visualize tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets, okay? And what I mean by that is I want your shoulders back and down. So just visualize kind of letting your shoulder blades slide down towards the small of your back, as though you're taking your shoulder blades and trying to tuck them into your back pockets. That is going to help you keep your chest lifted high, which is what we want. You always want to make sure your chest is lifted nice and high, because you want your spine to be elongated. You want a flat back while you're sinking down into your lunge, so that you're never rounding your back like this. So start by rolling your shoulders back and down. Make sure your chest is lifted high. You're going to tighten up your abs. And then as you step into the lunge, you're going to make sure that you're keeping your chest lifted so that your back stays flat. You're not rounding your back like this. The other thing you want to make sure of is that your weight is in the heel of your lunging foot, as opposed to letting your weight be forward so that your knee is kind of over your toe. You want to make sure that the knee of this lunging leg is more over the heel of your lunging foot. Make sure the weight is always in your heels. And what I think is helpful is to visualize trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. So if I do that, that is going to help me keep my weight in my heels. I can actually pick up my toes. So my chest is lifted high, my abs are super strong and tight and engaged, and as I step out into my lunge, I'm pushing my booty back and I'm keeping my chest lifted high. So at the same time that I'm imagining trying to touch the wall behind me with my booty, I'm thinking about trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest, and that's going to help you keep your spine nice and elongated and maintain that flat back that I was talking about earlier, so that you're not rounding your back like this. Okay, so that's your side lunge. Let me show you from the front. We're not going to get into the lunge this way, but I just want to show you the lunge position so that you understand the movement. You understand what it is that you're asking your body to do, okay? So if you start with your feet together and just step out to the side with one foot, this is going to be my standing leg. So the foot that's stepping to the side is my lunging leg. My standing leg stays straight, and only my lunging leg, I'm going to bend the knee. And again, I'm making sure that my weight is over this heel of my lunging foot. My chest is lifted high and I'm pushing my booty back. My weight is in the heel of this lunging foot. So I am going to be doing side jump lunges. And so that position that I just showed you is actually going to be my starting position. All right, so starting from this side lunge position, I do like to bend down and tap the ground, but you don't have to. Because if the only way you can reach the ground is by rounding your back, then don't think about touching the ground. You can just tap your knee, okay? Make sure that you're keeping that flat back. But I like to lunge down and tap the ground, and then what I'm going to do is jump and switch my legs so that I end up in a side lunge position on the other side. So from here, I'm going to jump this foot in towards the center, and as I do that, I'm going to pick up this foot and jump it out to the side so that now I'm in a side lunge position on the other side. This leg is straight, this leg is bent, all right? And that's one rep. We're going to do 40 of those in a row, and we're just going to alternate sides with each rep. So now for my second rep, I'm starting here. I'm going to jump and switch the position of my legs. So I'm going to jump this foot in towards the center. At the same time, I'm going to jump this foot out towards the side, lunge down and touch the ground. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Those are side jump lunges. Now, if the jump is too difficult for you, you can modify. So it's going to look essentially the same, but instead of jumping and switching my feet at the same time, so just for a second, both of my feet are off the ground right here. All right, if that's too much for you, then you can just step this foot in and then lunge out to the other side. So it's the same movement, but you're stepping instead of jumping. So I'm starting here in my lunge position. I'm going to take my straight leg and I'm going to step it in towards the center. And then I'm going to switch the position. So I'm going to step out with this other leg, and this leg is going to be straight, and now I'm going to have this knee bent, remembering to keep my weight over the heel, remembering to keep my shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs tight, pushing the booty back, keeping the weight in the heel, back is flat. Switch the position. Take this outside leg and step it in, step the other leg out, lunge, step it in, other side. So each lunge, we're alternating sides with each rep, so each lunge will be 1 rep. So starting here, step the foot in, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. If it helps to have a chair for support, then you can hold on to a chair while you do that, so that you would just be starting here That's going to be your initial lunge, and instead of reaching down and touching the floor or reaching down and touching your knee, you can just hold on to the chair for support, okay? And just shorten up your range of motion, work to your own level. So if your lunge is here, that's fine. And then just switch sides. Step to the side and lunge, step it in, step out and lunge, step it in. Just make sure that you're following all the same principles. So your shoulders are back and down, your abs are tight, back is flat, weight is in the heel. And just make sure that at any point that you are holding onto a chair or a bar stool or some other kind of elevated surface for support, make sure that whatever you are using to support yourself is strong enough to hold your weight. Make sure that it is sturdy, meaning that it is not going to fold up on you or something like that, or collapse or break when you put weight on it. I'm using this flimsy plastic folding chair to demonstrate, just so you can see what I'm talking about. But I do not recommend using a chair like this. Use a nice, strong, sturdy chair that can support your weight, that's well made, that's not going to collapse or fold up on you or break when you put weight on it. And make sure that your chair is stable, meaning that it cannot slide from underneath you. So you'll notice I placed this chair on top of my jump rope mat. So if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, I recommend placing your chair or your bar stool or whatever you are using on top of the mat, just to help it stay put. Of course, if you want to use your coffee table or the arm of your couch or a kitchen counter or your dining room table, something like that, you don't need to put down an exercise mat. But if you're using a chair or a bar stool, something that could slide from underneath you and cause you to fall, I strongly recommend placing it on top of a mat just to help it stay put. So that's our lunges. Next is going to be squats and push-ups, and I'm going to be combining squats with push-ups. So we're going to do all 40 lunges before moving on to this next part of the workout. So starting with my squat, just like with lunges, you want to make sure first that you are tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So shoulders back and down, chest lifted high. And then again, the next thing you want to do is really focus on tightening up your abs. You want your entire core engaged. And what I usually like to tell people to do is imagine that someone is about to punch you in the stomach as hard as they can. Imagine how you would brace for that impact. That is how tight your abs should be. Really tighten up your abs. Make sure your entire core is engaged. And then the next thing you want to think about is pushing your booty back, trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Remembering to still keep your chest lifted nice and high. So as you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, you're thinking about touching the wall in front of you with your chest. Your spine is elongated, your back is flat. And then from this position is where you can sink down into your squat with your back flat and the weight in your heels. As you sink down into your squat, do your best to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. If you are able to squat down lower and get your booty all the way down below your knees, that's great, do it. Again, just make sure you are working to your own level. I do want you to challenge yourself, but it's also really important to never push your body into doing something it's not quite ready to do. So if you're capable of getting your booty down below your knees and you want to do that, fine. But if you're not quite there yet, don't push it. Make it your goal to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. But if you're not there yet, then you'll shorten up your range of motion and just come here. As long as your back is flat and the weight is in your heels and your abs are super tight and engaged, that's fine. That's all that matters, okay? So your goal eventually is to see if you can get your thighs parallel to the ground, but work to your own level. Once you have sunk as deep into the squat as you're going to press your heels into the ground to stand. So really think about pushing the ground away from you with your heels so that you're engaging all of the muscles from your feet, your leg, through your glutes and your core. Always your core should be engaged as you stand. So press the ground away with your heels and return to your starting position. Now I'm going to be doing a jump squat. We've done jump squats already a couple of days in this challenge. I think days 2 and 3 we did jump squats. So if you've been following the challenge, you already know that all that means is that I'm going to add a little jump. If the jump is too much for you, you eliminate it, okay? And just do an air squat. So shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs are engaged. Push the booty back, hinging at the hips, okay? So picture touching the wall behind you with your booty, making sure your chest is lifted high, back is flat, weight is in the heels, sink down into the squat, and then push the ground away to stand, okay? So if you need to eliminate the jump, you're just gonna stay right here. If you wanna do what I'm doing, I'm gonna squat and jump, all right? So I'm going to be alternating back and forth, one jump squat, one push up, back and forth 40 times. So we're kind of essentially doing 40 burpees in a row. So it's gonna be tough, I'm not gonna lie. You can always break them up, all right? So I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm gonna finish going through the exercises and then I will explain the format and then I will talk you through a couple different ways that you can modify the format to make it a little bit more manageable, because I know that doing 40 squats and then 40 push-ups in a row is a lot, all right? So don't get discouraged and think you can't do this. You can do this. So what I'm going to be doing is just a standard push-up. I'm gonna do one squat jump and then I'm gonna come down and do my push-up. So any push-up variation you want to do is fine. And again, if you watch that day 1 video, I went through tons and tons of push-up modifications, even including a standing push-up modification. All right, so I think everybody is familiar with knee push-ups. I went through those in detail, but I also talked you through a few other options if the knee push-ups are not going to work for you for whatever reason. Maybe you just have really bad knees, or maybe you're not able to get down on the mat for knee push-ups. That's fine. There are other ways to modify your push-ups where you do not have to come down onto a mat. You don't have to go down onto your knees, okay? So if you need to do a standing push-up, that's fine. Let me just go over a couple of key points with the push-ups, just so that you remember when you are doing your push-ups. So if you're doing a knee push-up, you want to make sure that your mat is underneath your knees. If you don't have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, a towel can work. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything, but especially if you are doing knee push-ups, you're going to be more soft or more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So if you don't have a mat, a towel, maybe you could fold it up a couple of times, but you just want to make sure that you have some protection for your knees. So you want to come down into your plank position, making sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, making sure that your head is in line with your spine, so don't let your head drop down like this. You want to make sure that your abs are super strong and tight and engaged. And you want to make sure that your back is flat. So pay attention that you're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat like this. That's causing an arch in my back. That's not what we want. So tighten up your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. What you're going for is one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. Now, if you're doing knee push-ups, from here you're going to just put your knees down on the mat. Okay, I always cross my ankles. Whatever's comfortable for you is fine. But the only thing that changes when you put your knees down is that instead of that straight line going from your heels to your shoulders, your straight line is from your knees to your shoulders. But all of the same principles apply. So you want your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and you want to make sure that your hips are lifted high. So make sure you're not allowing your back to arch. Make sure your hips aren't drooping down like this. Tighten up your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high, and then keep them high, and your head is in line with your spine. You're not allowing your head to droop down like this. All right, so once you have found your perfect plank position, nothing moves. All right, this is a moving plank. So the only thing that's happening is you are bending your elbows and lowering your chest as close to the mat as you can. If you are unable to touch the mat with your chest, that is fine. just to shorten up your range of motion. So if you can only come down this far, then that's your push-up. But what I don't want you to do is sacrifice that straight line from your knees to your shoulders by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. It's really tempting to do that if you can't touch the mat with your chest because you're trying really hard to reach the mat. And if you're unable to do that with your chest, the temptation is going to be to want to like lower your hips or your belly. Another really common thing that people do, and I don't even think a lot of people are aware that they're doing it, is if they cannot get their chest all the way down to the mat, they'll compensate for that by lowering their forehead down to the mat. Your forehead should not touch the mat. Remember, your head is in line with your spine and it doesn't move. All right, so you may or may not be able to touch the mat with your chest. It doesn't matter. Just work to your own level. So if you can only go down halfway without breaking that one straight line from your knees to your shoulders, then just go down halfway. Once you have gotten your chest as close to the mat as you can, again, you're going to push the ground away from you. So you're going to press your palms into the mat and really visualize trying to push the ground away. All right, until you are back into your starting position in your nice high plank. I'm going to be doing the push-ups from my toes, but it's the exact same thing. So if you are able to do a few push-ups from your toes, that's great. And then at some point you can drop to your knees. The only difference is that your knees are on the mat. That's it. Everything else is the same. And the last exercise is abs. I'm going to be doing single leg toe touches. So I'm going to come all the way down on my mat, lying on my back with my legs extended, and I'm going to extend my arms up overhead like this. I'm going to lift one leg at a time, keeping the legs more or less straight. If you have a slight bend in your leg because you lack flexibility, that's fine, but you're not specifically bending the knee. You want to keep your leg as straight as you comfortably can. Remember to work to your own level, so don't pull a muscle because you're trying to keep your leg perfectly straight, but you want it as close to straight as you can, working within your own skill level and not pushing your body into doing something it's not ready to do. So with your leg more or less straight, you're going to lift the leg, and at the same time, you're going to sit up and bring the opposite hand up to touch the toes, and then return to your starting position. So lower the leg, lower the arms. One toe touch is one rep. We're going to be alternating sides with each rep. So now with my next rep, I'm going to lift the other leg, and I'm going to sit up and touch the toes with the opposite hand. Then lower the arms, lower the leg. Other side. Lift the leg, touch the toes with the hand on the opposite side, return to the starting position. Switch sides. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Make sure that when you lower your leg, you are doing so with control. So you don't want to just kind of let the leg drop. You want the movement to be under control. So you're going to lift and lower the leg with control. So you don't have to do it this slowly, but this is the amount of control you should have. You want to make sure that your abs are doing the work. This is our ab exercise, okay? So you're not just letting gravity do the work and let your leg just kind of fall to the ground. You are controlling the movement with your ab muscles, okay? If it is too difficult to keep your legs straight, you can bend the knee, that's fine. So you can just do kind of bicycles, really. Very similar concept, but instead of having my arms extended and instead of keeping my legs straight, I'm just gonna place my hands behind my head and I'm going to crunch one leg in at a time. And as I do that, I'm going to sit up and bring knee to elbow and then return to the starting position. Repeat that on the other side. So that would be our first rep. We will alternate sides with each rep. So with your next rep, you'll crunch the opposite knee in and sit up and twist to tap knee to elbow. So you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you cannot get your elbow all the way to your knee, just get it as close as you can. All right, do your best. Your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. So that's it, that's all 4 exercises. Now here's the format. I'm going to start with my side jump lunges. I'm going to do all 40 reps of side jump lunges. Remember, we are alternating sides with each rep, so we're counting each lunge as 1 rep. So it's going to go by pretty quickly, and then lunges are done. Then we are going to tackle our squats and our push-ups. Those are not going to go quite as quickly. That's going to be really challenging because, like I said, we are essentially doing 40 burpees in a row, and that's tough. But just do your best. Take it 1 rep at a time. If you need to do 5 reps and then rest, and then do another 5 reps and rest, that's fine, you can do that. Or you can do 20 reps and then move on to your abs. And then at the end of the workout, do another 20 reps, okay? I'm going to be doing all 40 reps of squats and push-ups before I finish up with my 40 reps of abs. So if that's too much for you, just break up the squats and the push-ups. You could break it up further. You could start the workout with 10 sets of your squat push-up combo. Then you could move on to your 40 side jump lunges. Then you could do another 10 sets of your squat and push-up combo. Then do your abs. And then after abs, do another set of 10 squat and push-up combo. At that point, you will have completed all 40 lunges, all 40 reps of abs, and you will have completed 30 of 40 reps of your squats and push-ups. So at that point, you can say your workout is done, and then at some point later in the day, you can find time to squeeze in another set of 10. Or you can give yourself a 5-minute break and then finish up with your final 10 sets of the combo. Okay, so just get creative. You don't necessarily have to do everything all at once, and you don't necessarily have to do the workouts exactly the way I'm doing. You can modify the individual exercises, but you can also modify the format. This challenge is really, really customizable. The only requirement to participate in the challenge is just that you do a total of 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups every day. As long as you get those reps done, it doesn't matter how you do them. It doesn't matter what variations of those exercises you choose, and it doesn't matter if you incorporate them into a structured workout or if you just do them randomly throughout the day. So what I'm doing today, 40 squats and push-ups in a row with no break, seems intimidating to you because you are a beginner, that's fine. Just modify, just do what does work for you. But it doesn't mean that you can't do the challenge. You can absolutely do this challenge. I've provided so many beginner modifications and so many options. Feel free to customize the workouts any way you want to customize them in order to be able to get your reps done. It's really important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, but it is especially important to me that this challenge is accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do it with me. I'm always here to help facilitate that. So I've done my best, and I continue to do my best every day to provide you with a lot of options and a lot of modifications. But if ever you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing on a given day, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I've already provided in the video, please just ask. It's also very important to make sure that you do understand how to do the exercises correctly so that you reduce your risk of injury and so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. If you are committing to doing this challenge with me and you're going through the trouble of summoning that motivation to get dressed and get out here and do this every day, then I really want you to be able to see the results of the effort that you're putting in. And the way you get there is by minding your form. So that's not going to only help prevent injury, but it's going to really maximize the benefit that you get out of each individual exercise so you can see results faster. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. So I've explained the format the way I'm doing it, and I have explained a few different ways that you can modify it and customize it. But also please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the workout with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course if anything is unclear about the format and how it all fits together, just leave me a comment, ask questions if you have them, and I will do my best to clarify. I think that's it. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, go ahead and grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel. Grab a strong, sturdy, stable chair if you need to use a chair for support. We'll go ahead and do a quick warm up together right now, and then we'll get right into the workout. All right, just a quick 5-minute warm up before we begin. Starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. You're going to start by just lightly stretching your neck. So I'm letting my head fall to one side, down towards my shoulder, and I have the opposite hand on top of my head, just lightly stretching. We're gonna switch sides right now, and just make sure that as you are pulling down on your neck, that you're not actively using your hand to pull down on your neck. Your hand is just kind of resting on your head, and you're letting gravity do the work of just kind of lightly stretching at your neck. Make sure this other shoulder isn't creeping up. Keep the shoulders down. And then we're just gonna do some neck rolls. I'm gonna start small, and then throughout the interval, I'm gonna just kind of start doing bigger circles, allowing my head to just kind of drop down, loosening up my back a little bit. And now we're gonna roll the shoulders. So you can start with small circles and then work your way up to big circles. You can do some circles to the back and then some circles to the front, but you just wanna kind of loosen up those shoulders a little bit. And now we're gonna do some arm circles. So again, you can start small if you want, and then gradually start drawing bigger circles with your arms until you're really kind of swinging them and exploring your full range of motion. You can switch directions if you want. And now we're just gonna do some plies. So start with your feet a little bit wider apart. You're gonna sweep your hands down and then reach them up. And again, you can start small. And then as you get a little bit warmer, you can start sinking a little bit deeper, sweeping those hands down and reaching up. Now we're just gonna keep our feet wide apart, and you're just gonna kind of lunge side to side, adding the arms and just reaching across your body as you lunge, like you're trying to touch the wall. Bring the feet back to the center, and we're just gonna march, okay? You can start low, and as the interval progresses, you can start driving your knees up higher and higher until you get to the point where you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can and feeling a little stretch in your glutes. And then we're gonna do the same thing with a jog. Start with a light jog, and then as the work interval progresses, you can start lifting your knees a little bit higher, driving them up towards your chest until you're doing high knees with me. If you're comfortable, if not, you can stick with the jog. And now we're going to do these little booty kicks. So still here with our nice light jog, but you're bringing that heel up behind you, trying to tap your booty cheeks with your heel. Next is gonna be leg swing. So if you need to hold on to a wall for support, you can do that. If not, you can just keep your hands on your hips, but you're just gonna swing the leg front and back. And again, you can start low and then build up. Switching sides. So now swinging the other leg, you can hold on to a wall for support if you need it. You can start low and then start expanding your range of motion. Just swing the leg the best you can front and back. And now we're gonna work on opening the hips. So you can start by just drawing a little circle, and then you can start lifting the leg higher and higher. And eventually, what I like to do is bend my knee and drive my knee up as far in front of me as I can, and then just draw a circle with my hips. So now we're gonna do the other side. So you can start drawing a circle low, and as your leg starts getting higher and higher, you can bend the knee and really work on opening up that hip. And now finally, yeah, this is our last interval. I'm just gonna use the wall to show you that you can use the wall to help you, because we're doing a quick hamstring stretch, and you wanna do your best to make sure your back is flat. Try to avoid rounding your back. So you're pushing your booty back, trying to touch the wall with your chest, spine is nice and elongated, and you're feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. And that's it. That's our quick 5-minute warm up. So it doesn't have to be much, just a quick 5 minutes to get your muscles warmed up a little bit, get your joints loosened up a little bit. It will go a long way towards helping to reduce your risk of injury. So now that we are nice and warmed up, let's go ahead and start the workout. We are starting with 40 side jump lunges. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So coming down into your side lunge position, you're gonna jump and switch the feet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to 40. Just do your best. It's 20. 30, almost there. 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And just like that, our lunges are done. All right? So now for the fun part. Squats and push-ups. So it's gonna be tough. Just do your best, okay? I'm gonna take a second to breathe, because you guys know, well, you know if you've been following the challenge so far that I haven't been working out in months, haven't done a single push-up since December, and I'm pretty out of shape right now. I've put on a significant amount of weight and I've lost a lot of muscle, a lot of strength. So these push-ups have been a major challenge for me so far, but I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna do my best. It's all you can do is your best. So remember to roll your shoulders back and down for the squats. Keep your chest lifted nice and high. Tighten up your abs, bending at the waist, or hinging at the hips, I should say. If that's the same thing, I don't know. Pushing your booty back, keeping the weight in your heels, and keeping your back flat as you sink down into that squat. I'm going to be adding a jump. You don't have to. So it's going to be 1 squat, 1 push-up. Back and forth between those 2 exercises until we have completed 40 reps of each. So just do your best. When you're ready, here we go. So squat, jump, hands down. For the push-up, jump or step the feet in. That's 1 rep, all right? So 39 more of those, and then we're on to abs. So do your best. Squat, jump. Jump or step the feet back for your push-up. Jump or step the feet in. That's 2. All right, not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. That's my first 10. I'm gonna rest for a minute because I need to rest. If you don't need to rest, then keep going. Just make sure that you're going at your own pace. Don't sacrifice your form for speed, but if you're capable of going faster than I am without sacrificing your form, then that's what you should be doing. If you're slower than I am, that is also fine. If you need to pause and rest, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start on my next 10 and see if I can hopefully do another 10 without stopping. Wish me luck. Squat, jump, and push up. That's 11. All right, so I'm halfway there. I'm gonna take another minute to rest and then see if I can tackle another set of 10. Without stopping, I mean. Need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna start on my next set of 10, see if I can get another 10 done unbroken. So picking up my count at 20. That's 30 for me. I'm gonna try to do another 5 without stopping if I can. So that's 35 for me. I just have to do 5 more. I'm gonna push through. As soon as you're ready, here we go, final 5 reps. $36. 37. 38. 39. We made it. Final squat. Final push-up. That's 40. The hard part's done, although I'm gonna be crying trying to get these abs done, but let's be honest, it's all downhill from here. All we have left to do is abs. So 40 single leg toe touches. Lift the leg, tap the toes with the opposite hand, switching sides with each rep. So that's 2, 3, 4. We're going to 40. Do your best. That's 20. My little weakling abs are crying. I'm gonna keep pushing. That's 30. It's really hurting. But I only have 10 left. I really want to get these done, so I'm going to push. That's 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, last one. That's 40. All right, get up. If you are like me and you're out of shape right now and you have weak abs, you probably don't want to get up. You probably want to curl up in the fetal position on your mat and cry. Don't do that. You're strong. You just completed 160 reps with me. So get up, shake it out the arms, shake out the legs, breathe. You guys, that's our squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups for the day. Well done. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So for my beginners, I'm going to start by doing a beginner bonus burpee with you. So you're going to want to stand towards the center of your mat. You're going to reach down, put your hands on the mat in front of you, step your feet back into a plank position. Knees down for a push-up if you want to include a push-up. Back to your plank, step the feet in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can, or if you want, you can try to add a little jump. If you are more advanced and you want to try doing the push-up from your toes, let's go ahead and do 1 final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So when you're ready, here we go, final rep of the day. All right, with that, this day 5 workout is now officially complete. It ended up taking me 13 minutes and 2 seconds, which is a little longer than I wanted. I wanted to finish this workout in under 10 minutes, but those push-ups are just such a struggle for me right now that I didn't make my goal, but I got it done. I completed all of my reps, and that is what matters. If that is all you're doing today, well done. Please make sure that you are taking a good 15 or 20 minutes at least to stretch. If you can manage to squeeze in the time right now, this is the best time to get your stretching done, right after the workout, because your muscles are already nice and warm. So this is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done. However, if you do not have time to stretch now, that's fine. You can do your stretching later in the day as long as you get it done. It's fine. Just remember that if you wait until later in the day to do your stretching, that your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you are going to need to take a couple of minutes to warm them back up. You don't want to, the same way you don't want to jump into the workout with cold muscles, you don't want to jump into a stretching routine with cold muscles either. Warm muscles are just more pliable, so it's going to be easier and safer to stretch if you have taken a minute to warm up your muscles. It's kind of like if you think of your muscles as like a piece of spaghetti, your cold muscles are like a dry piece of pasta. So if you take a dry piece of pasta and you try to stretch it, it's not going anywhere. And if you pull too hard on it trying to stretch it, it could break because it's brittle. It's not pliable. Once you warm up your muscles, think about warming up that spaghetti in some boiling water and think about how it becomes nice and pliable and it can stretch and it can bend without damaging the structure of the pasta. If you just jump right into your stretching routine with cold muscles, you might overstretch, you might pull something. That's the opposite of what we want. The purpose of doing your stretching is to reduce your risk of injury, because the more pliable your muscles are in general, the less likely you are to pull or strain something during a workout in the future. So the reason that we do our stretching is to reduce our risk of injury moving forward by making sure that we're training our muscles to be pliable and we're lengthening our muscles. It's also going to help reduce any soreness that you might be experiencing the day after the workout. So you'll definitely thank yourself tomorrow if you do your stretching today, because it is going to help alleviate some of that soreness. But before I get to my stretching, I am going to be doing an additional 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. That's why I am holding Rude Becca. Rude Becca, if you don't know, is my adorable black jump rope with the little white skulls on the handles. And if you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, I am going to leave a link in the description box down below the video, or you can click the iCard up here in the corner. Click on that link, and if you use coupon code RUDEBECCA, you can save an additional 10% on your jump rope. These are great jump ropes, and they come already adjusted to the correct length for you, so it's super easy. Obviously, any jump rope will do, but just make sure if you are going to invest in a jump rope that you make sure it is the correct length. And I made a whole video about how to adjust your jump rope. This jump rope is not adjustable because when I ordered it, I entered my height, and so when it was shipped to me, it was already cut to the correct length. So this jump rope is the perfect length for me. But These jump ropes are not the cheapest. Even though I'm giving you a coupon code, you could still get a decent jump rope at, you know, the drugstore, maybe even. I found a nice jump rope one time at Burlington Coat Factory, but you could go to a sporting goods store. Target sells jump ropes. So you can find a decent jump rope pretty much anywhere, or you could go on like Amazon or something. But if you do that, more than likely what you're going to end up getting is an adjustable jump rope. So I'm all for saving a few bucks if you want to go to Target or something, or, you know, Dick's Sporting Goods, and get yourself a cheaper jump rope. But just to make sure if you're going to do that, that you know how to adjust your jump rope to the correct length. So if you hold your jump rope so that the rope is touching the ground, and put your foot down on the very middle of the jump rope, and make sure it's right in the middle. Okay, so pull the handles up, make sure the handles line up. So my handles are lined up, so I know my foot is right in the middle of the jump rope. Then you want to make sure that this part of the rope, where the rope ends and the handle begins, so this part where the handle connects to the jump rope, fold that down, and that should exactly touch your armpit. All right, so I made a whole video about how to do this where I went into a little bit more detail. So I will link that up in the iCard as well. So if you want to save a few dollars and get yourself an adjustable jump rope, just make sure you understand how to adjust it to the correct height. So you're going to figure out the correct height by putting your foot down in the middle of the jump rope, pulling the jump rope up so it's taut, and then making sure that the end of the rope is exactly where your armpits are. So then what you're going to need to do is mark that spot and cut it. You'll have to take off the handles so that you can cut your jump rope, and then you're going to reattach the handles. That part I can't show you because this is not an adjustable jump rope, but maybe one day I will get an adjustable jump rope so that I can walk you through the entire process from start to finish of how to adjust your jump rope. But I'm mentioning all of this because I love my jump rope. This is my go-to additional cardio. The way I do this challenge every year is after pretty much every workout, I always tack on an additional 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio. So some days I might go for a hike, or I might go for a jog or hop on the exercise bike. But typically, I find it easiest to just grab my jump rope. I set my interval timer for 40 rounds of 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals. That's 20 minutes. I put on some music and I jump rope for 20 minutes, and that's my additional cardio. The additional cardio is not part of the challenge, but I'm doing it and I recommend it even if you can't find the time to do it after every single workout. If you can just find 2 or 3 days a week where you have 20 minutes to tack on a little bit of additional cardio after the workout, I strongly recommend that you consider doing that. But that's it, you guys. That's our day 5 reps complete. Well done. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I am right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 6. Bye.